It was early in the morning. Students lined up in front of the college assessing their entrance, some lurking around just to have one glance at the girl who appeared in their dreams. And right on cue, all heads turned when the sound of motorbike roared. The girls dreamed to be like her, and the boys dreamed to date her. The bike stopped. The girl removed her helmet. Her hair fell straight, and she smiled like some sort of a model from the famous TV commercial. She knew the effect she had on everyone, so she simply placed her helmet, got on the bike, and winked before modeling inside. Exactly. She knew her popularity and she took pride in it. No matter how many times boys had seen her, they still stood with hand over their hearts, ready to fall any time. Girls were jealous. They stood, since it was not at all. Their time was to come as well, where they could look at their dream man as well all they wanted. The Seoul National College had two kinds of students which overpowered the whole place. First was Moyen, popular, bold, cool, and proud of her popularity. The other one was complete opposite, silent, hardworking, and hated attention deep down his core. He was a nerd. A moon, completely opposite of the sun Wine was. The BMW stopped before the college's gate. The driver held open the door and stepped down the guy who took the girl's breath away in an instant. Surely he was charming enough to do that. Jungkook stepped down, held his bag, bowed in respect before the driver, and quietly stepped inside. He immediately avoided the girl who approached him, bowing as an apology before rushing inside. It's always like this. Whoever gets him will be the luckiest. The girl complained with about not minding his reaction at all. Everyone knew his personality after all. Once Jungkook managed to escape everyone, he let out an exhale. Like, finally. He stretched his arms, took out his book, and decided to study for the upcoming exams. He needed to stay at the top. That was his goal. He couldn't date yet. Wine burst into cafeteria first thing in the morning. A lot of students were there as usual. She had three roses in her hand, means three guys had already proposed her on her way to cafeteria from the entrance. She smiled softly at another guy, looking depressed, holding a rose at a distance. Since three had been rejected already, he knew his fate, so he just gave up. Misa, you should date someone already. Your fantasy will come true otherwise. Wine took a seat in hers, beside her friends. Wine, I'm sticking to my words. Until I don't hear any signs, I won't date that man. Luna, and by signs you mean the bells? I mean, is it a church or something? That's right. Wine saw an animated movie where the male and female lead met. They heard the bells ringing. It was love at first sight. Wine wanted that kind of love since that movie, and her friends always made fun of her for that. Fine, fine, laugh all you want, but when it happens, you'll see. She waved off her friends, teasing, and headed towards the counter to grab some food. As she turned a corner, she bumped into someone. Thud. Wine. Oh, sorry, She froze, looking up only to find Jungkook's gaze. For a moment, Wine felt like the air around her stiff. And then she heard it, the sound of bells ringing, clear and melodious, as though the universe prepared this moment just for her. One's heart raced as she stared at him. The bells? It's him. It's really him. Her insides screamed at her. However, before she could gather her thoughts, the bells abruptly stopped. She realized it was the ringtone coming from his pocket. Jungkook pulled out his phone, glancing at it briefly before silencing it. She could hear the sound of her dreams breaking like a glass. Take it. Are you alright? Wine. Yes. Thank you, she said, embarrassed as hell as they parted ways. Later at the table, Wine sat down with her food, her friends eagerly awaiting the story. Missa, well, what's with the face? Luna, you had your precious bells? Wine groaned, hiding her face in her hands. Wine, I thought I heard the bells. Both friends gasped dramatically. Missa, wait, wait. Who was it? Wine mumbled under her breath. Wine, Jungkook, Luna, the Jungkook, as in the confident, nerdy hard Jungkook. Wine nodded. Missa, oh my god, Wine, good luck. That guy's, like, unattainable. Luna, not just because of his looks. Have you seen how smart and talented he is? Wine, yeah, I know he's a top student. Everyone calls him a nerd. Luna, nerd? Wine, he's the star player of the college chess team. And he's got a black belt in Taekwondo. Oh, and did I mention he knows how to fix motorbikes? Wine, wait, bikes? She blinked, taken aback. Missa, yeah, uh, apparently his friend used to own a repair shop. That guy knows everything about engines. Wine knew. She needed to know him better no matter what. The day passed like usual. It was off time. Wine stood against the bike as she found Jungkook trying to escape his fangirls. Wine, need a ride, Mr. Popular? Jungkook groaned at the situation and hopped on behind Wine, taking the helmet from her as the girl drove them away. She truly was an amazing rider. Jungkook gave her that. It had been a long time he enjoyed a bike ride like this one. Wine parked the bike in front of her home and removed her helmet, her hair falling effortlessly. Wine, welcome to my paradise. Jungkook followed her inside, taking the rock posters, books, and photos scattered around. Just when he was getting absorbed into appreciating the place, he found a man double his age yet really handsome, probably Wine's father, with a woman who looked nothing like her mother. Wine grabbed him and threw him in the room before any of them noticed his presence. It was probably her room. She heard her talking to them. The woman turned out to be her father's secretary, from what he heard. However, being in the room, he got distracted by the things. There was a cool guitar and a lot of books. She'd never struck to him to be the type who reads. As soon as Wine entered the room, he smirked, his aura completely different. A smirk on his face as he held on to a very scandalous magazine he found in her room. Wine's eyes widened up. She ran after him as quickly as she could. She could only pray for her father to leave quickly, but now this? Take it. That could throw your reputation down the rock, Miss Piker. Wine. Ah, so that's how you pay me for rescuing you. He grabbed her wrist and pinned her against the wall. She was not afraid yet. She needed the magazine back and punched him in the face. Zeke, I'm not the sweetest guy to be around. Before she could respond, the door knocked. Wine, open the door. I've something to give you. She cursed. There was no place in her room for this huge man to hide. It was truly her end today. To be continued.